A very warm welcome, viewers, to the latest edition of Forces First. I am Rakshita Mishra with you, viewers, and we start with the biggest story this week, viewers. This is the reset in the ties between India and Afghanistan, viewers. India and Afghanistan have taken a major leap in strengthening their bilateral ties with the visit of acting Taliban Foreign Minister Amir Muttaqi to New Delhi. During the talks with External Affairs Minister of India, Dr. S. Jaishankar, both the sides reaffirmed their commitment to combat cross-border terrorism after Jaishankar pointed out that both the nations face the common terror threat. Very important wording, viewers, of that statement. It's a clear diplomatic message that was sent out to Pakistan, as Afghanistan was described as a contiguous neighbor in the joint statement. India and Afghanistan share a narrow 106-kilometer land border through the Wakhan corridor, a strategically vital strip, viewers, that now is drawing Chinese interest for a long time, in fact. In the context of Jaishankar's statement, the corridor links Afghanistan to the part of Kashmir illegally occupied by Pakistan. And this corridor is a 350-kilometer narrow piece of land, ranging from 10 to 50 kilometers in width, which connects China's Xinjiang autonomous region and Afghanistan Badakhshan province in the northeast, and is sandwiched between Tajikistan on its western side, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and Gilgit-Baltistan to the east. And this corridor, the Wakhan corridor, was annexed by British, if we go back to history, to actually create a buffer between Russia and India, viewers. Meanwhile, this is very important to understand. Muttaqi, for his part, has pledged that Afghan territory would never be used against India. So very important, from warnings to important signaling, all has transpired in this bilateral meet.
Excellency, we have a common commitment towards growth and prosperity. However, these are endangered by the shared threat of cross-border terrorism that both our nations face. We must coordinate efforts to combat terrorism in all its forms and manifestations. We appreciate your sensitivity towards India's security concerns. Your solidarity with us in the aftermath of the Pahalgam terrorist attack was noteworthy.
During the American occupation, there was many ups and downs that happened. However, throughout this time, we never gave a statement against India. Rather, we always sought good relations with India. We will not allow any group to threaten anyone else or use the territory of Afghanistan against others.
So why is this that this reset of ties may spell trouble for Pakistan, viewers? Islamabad has long leveraged its ties with the Taliban to project influence over Afghanistan, using it as a buffer against India and as a staging ground for terror groups. The Taliban's public commitment to prevent Afghan territory from being misused against India directly undermines Pakistan's ability to execute its proxy strategy, viewers. Now we'll just put that out in graphics. India's growing diplomatic coordination with Kabul significantly chokes the networks that have historically targeted Indian interests. Not just that, the reset strengthens India's position against the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, the CPEC, by securing Afghanistan as a friendly partner. India's access to Central Asian resources via Afghanistan undercuts China's Belt and Road ambitions through the Wakhan corridor, while the anti-terror pact aligns with Quad goals, isolating Pakistan geopolitically. And the Wakhan corridor, viewers, was something that we just showed you. We'll play out that map once again as we connect with our defense expert, Colonel Rajiv Bagga, who is joining us on Forces First today. And Colonel Bagga, can you hear me? All right. A very good morning to you, Colonel Bagga, and thank you so much for joining us once again on Republic TV, sir. You know, this is a very important move that we are witnessing. What happened in New Delhi yesterday? You know, Kabul warning Pakistan from Indian soil and saying that, you know, they have a common threat. The terror threat is common. And also, External Affairs Minister saying that India and Afghanistan are neighbors. Something that back in 2019, if you remember, Home Minister Amir had also mentioned in the parliament that Afghanistan is a neighbor and we have a 106-kilometer long border. And of course, that POK is something that is an illegal occupation by Pakistan.
Good morning, Rakshita, and thanks, Adam, for inviting me on your platform. Well, I first of all congratulate the great diplomacy policy of our country. We have really gone through this bridge in a very dynamic manner. We all are aware what exactly has happened in past couple of days and months also. And since the delegation is in New Delhi, of course, Deoband today, and the foreign minister of Taliban and our foreign minister, they have met each other. They have expressed their concern about the regional security, and certainly India is concerned about the strategic and the security within the region. I give you this particular thing in three parts. The part one is a little background. The background is that do you think that what exactly has happened? The Pakis have gone inside and bombarded the Kabul and all. They are they're daring. Have they forgotten what exactly the Afghanis have done to Russians? And the US very rightly brought out by Mr. Amir that you should not forget because हमारे 7 generation are going to chase you. It is basically designed by the US deep state. That I'm convinced rather it is not exactly we have to just presume that when President Biden was there, they brought their entire forces out, and because they thought that the Russians are their prime enemy, not the China, and engaged them into the war, right? Which is on you all are aware. And suddenly now, the President Trump, he said, I want a base in Afghanistan background, and which was actually created by the Soviets, right? Now, why? Why US is so keen? Because he has realized that he is losing the grip in this area. And that's the reason they have brought up a law called Pakistan. And of course, the team members, Mullah Manir and their butler prime minister, who is running post to pillar, and he must have told them to go and bombard, right? And basically to create and give a hawala of we are having a border dispute and we don't want this kind of activities within our country. I'm talking of Pakistan. Oh, वैसे भी they are on a downfall. I'm convinced about that. Why India is so, I mean, my analysis, the first thing is we as India are definitely not going to tolerate any kind of encircling our country in the form that we don't want anybody to come in Afghanistan and start breeding militancy and which are going to they use against us. That is one concern, right? Second thing is, since we are also looking forward for a kind of a bridge towards Central Asia for our trade, the land route is already blocked by the Pakistani for us.
Right.
And Afghanistan is the one place, okay? And I'm talking about the Fort Shabar if we have to use. That is second major advantage we have. It's a master stroke, actually. Right. And the third thing is, in any case, like if we move there, we are creating a kind of a Tetris. And we have got a geopolitical competitors also, like a China, Pakistan, ko to main samajhta. He is totally like wherever you send him, they will raise his tail and वहाँ पे पहुँच जाएंगे. Okay. But as far we are concerned, we have got our certain agendas, and we have already invested almost $3 billion there on infrastructure. We want some friendly agency to look after that.
Yes.
And luckily, Talibanis, they have come more closer to India this time.
Right, sir.
Right? This thing is not digested by the US, and he wants to come to the backyard of Russia and China trying to create a base out there. Okay? So imagine, it's not a Pakistan, it is the Western country, that's US, sitting friend President Donald Trump, who is thinking to have a hold in this region, which I think is not going to really, he's not going to get successful this time. Okay? But at the same time, the last part, which I'm going to cover out, that is, we need to be cautious on certain things. Taliban is not monolith. You need to understand. There is some type of Haqqani elements are still existing. We need to have a strategic vigilance. That the past you know very well. And at the same time, if we want to have some type of a sound trade relation, we need to really see the banking viability. At present,
Right,
they
sir.
don't have that kind. Okay? But overall,
Right,
I
sir.
personally feel that it is a great move.
Yes, sir.
India has taken the advantage, and we are going to really boost our
Right, sir.
regional.
Yes, Colonel Bagga, absolutely. Of course, it's very, very important that India makes the right moves there, and we do understand that there's a lot of Pakistan to worry for now. Thank you so much, Colonel Bagga, joining us. Viewers, meanwhile, we tell you more about, viewers, what the importance is now. What we are actually witnessing happening between India and Afghanistan. India is resetting the ties. Pakistan is now staring down at a hemorrhaging western frontier, which seems to be slowly losing its grip there. And in the past week, viewers, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Balochistan, both have witnessed a sharp escalation in attacks targeting the Pakistani army on the 7th of October in Orakzai district of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. The Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan ambushing an intel-based operation, sparking intense clashes that killed 11 Pakistani soldiers, including 2 officers. And remember, viewers, this is the first time that Pakistan it's one of the rare occasions when Pakistan goes on to, in fact, admit the casualties. It hardly does. It prefers to, conceal. This time, of course, there was a message that it was trying to send out. Now, viewers, this incident was followed closely on the 8th of October in Balochistan, where the BLF, Baloch Liberation Front fighters, assaulted, temporarily captured a strategic Pakistani army post along with China-Pakistan Economic Corridor route, using small arms, grenades, resulting in 14 Pak soldiers being killed. In fact, this is what is unfolding in Lahore in the latest, viewer. The Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan has intensified its protests against the army and the government. In Lahore, the Punjab administration is attempting to confine TLP workers, but reports describe direct firing, heavy shelling, and rising toll of the injured. Protesters allege that police even used acid during crackdowns. And amid this turmoil, Pakistan has likely lost the plot with Kabul. Muttaqi publicly cautioned, remember, Islamabad against using Afghan territory to pursue proxy agendas or target India, signaling that any such attempts would not be tolerated.
अफगानियों का हौसले नहीं आजमाया, उसको ज़्यादा छेड़ना अगर लोग करता है तो वो एक बार अंग्रेज से पूछे, फिर सोवियत यूनियन से पूछे, फिर अमेरिका से पूछे, फिर नाटो से पूछे, ताकि वो आपको थोड़ा समझाए कि भाई अफगानिस्तान के साथ ऐसा खेल करना ये अच्छा नहीं है.
All right, we have Ambassador Deepak Bora joining us on the broadcast. Very good morning to you, sir. Always a pleasure having you. And what's happening in Afghanistan, sir? I know you've been having a very, very close eye on that. Pakistan, sir, is just going to break down anytime soon, it seems, because it is literally gherraud from all sides. Barring Punjab, everything is now boiling down to Punjab, because from Sindh to Balochistan to KPK, Gilgit-Baltistan, and what we are witnessing now from Afghanistan also, there are threats and threats and threats galore. For Asim Munir, sir, how do you read into this?
Thank you very much, ma'am. As always, a great pleasure to be with you. And at this time, midday, yes, I've been following very carefully. There's a reason, because my father's family came from Ghazni in Afghanistan, so I'm half Pashtun. My mother's family was related to the Sikhs. There's a saying that my grandfather taught me. And when I heard the foreign minister speak, I was reminded of that. He said, "May God protect you from the venom of the cobra, from the teeth of the tiger, and the revenge of the Pathan." Now, what he is going to do, the foreign minister, he has said very clearly, he's hinted very clearly, don't mess with us. Ask the Americans, ask the British, ask the Soviets, ask anybody you want, ask NATO. They'll tell you that don't fight these guys because you cannot win. It doesn't matter. There was a famous saying during the time that America was bombing Afghanistan, bombing the Taliban fellows. They said, the Taliban told the Americans, "We know you have fancy watches, but we have the time." And they kept on hammering away, chipping away at those guys till finally America gave up and left. So what I'm seeing now, ma'am, Afghanistan, which Pakistan used to once consider its strategic depth, has now become its strategic death. Afghanistan was the only country that opposed the membership of Pakistan, admission of Pakistan to the United Nations. They cordially detest the Pakistanis, particularly the Pakistani Punjabi Musliman. And I say this with considerable satisfaction. But the Punjabi Pakistani Musliman, not only has he been bullying the Baloch, the Sindhis, the Pashtuns, and everybody else, the chaps in POK, but now that he has taken on the Afghans, the Pathan, they are not going to leave him. They used to say traditionally, the Pathans, that this Mortimer-Durand line, which is supposed to be the border between Afghanistan and Pakistan, is all rubbish. There was no border till 1947. Our border was with India, Afghanistan's border. Why did this rat Pakistan come in between? This is their feeling. And so they don't recognize this. They say our border is at the Sindhu, at the Indus River. So Pakistan is going to be in a lot of trouble. They have bombed Kabul. We all know that. They denied it subsequently. But the Afghans are really angry. I have spoken to friends. I have relatives in Ghazni. Some of them live overseas. They said, no, this is the end of the road for Pakistan as far as Afghanistan is concerned. And then, ma'am, when we are talking about the western frontier, you know that the Bagram Air Base that Shri McDonald Trump so desperately wanted, the Bagram, it's not just for China, it's also for Iran. Pakistan is in trouble even with Iran. Now with Afghanistan. Who's left? China? China is going to give him a tight slap that you got married to us and went off for your honeymoon with America. No, it doesn't work. Pakistan doesn't know what it wants. It's totally confused. This precedes a state collapse.
Right. Thank you so much, Ambassador Vora, for giving us an insight into this big story that we are closely tracking. Viewers, we quickly shift our focus to the other stories, viewers. Now, India has taken a major step in modernizing the tactical missile capabilities by signing it's a deal with the United Kingdom for the acquisition of Martlet lightweight multi-role missiles. And we're going to tell you about this missile deal. It's finalized during British Prime Minister Keir Starmer's visit to India. The Martlet missile system is designed for extreme versatility. It can be deployed across air, land and sea platforms, from helicopters and light combat aircraft to naval vessels and mounted ground vehicles, providing forces with a precision-guided solution for a wide range of targets. Missile's lightweight design, as approximately 13 kilograms, makes it highly portable and adaptable for rapid deployment in tactical operations. Missile already has seen operational success with UK armed forces and has been deployed in recent conflict that includes Ukraine. Yes, Britain had supplied this to Ukraine for the war. Now, this acquisition could boost India's close combat and precision strike capabilities, particularly for helicopter-borne and maritime operations. And beyond the operational benefits, viewers, the deal also strengthens the defense tie between India and the UK. And we were talking about further boost to India and UK ties. We shift our focus to this naval exercise that has taken place, the waters. Shifting our focus now, India and the US taking their naval UK taking their naval partnership to the next level with exercise Konkan 2025, a high-tempo maritime drill unfolding off India's western seaboard. This year's edition, particularly significant, given both the nations have deployed their full carrier strike groups. That's a first. India's INS Vikrant and UK's HMS Prince of Wales operating together in a complex maritime environment. The exercise was conducted in two phases. The sea phase, which witnessed intricate anti-air, anti-surface and anti-submarine warfare drills, that was followed by the harbour phase, which focuses on key crew interactions, professional exchanges and cross-deck visits to deepen the naval camaraderie. And during the operations, the carrier-borne fighters from both the nations executed beyond visual range air combat and coordinated missions with maritime patrol aircraft and submarines, maintaining a high operational tempo and reflecting the capabilities and preparedness of both the navies in a complex multi-domain war scenarios. And strategically speaking, viewers, this comes at a time when both India and UK are reaffirming their shared vision for a free, open and rules-based Indo-Pacific. And viewers, now India is all set for another high-profile test in its strategic missile arsenal. A no time has been issued over the Bay of Bengal, signaling a likely missile trial between 15th and 17th of October. The notified test zone points to a maximum range of 3,550 kilometers. Unlike the Agni 5 ICBM test, which was conducted early in August, demonstrating the 5,000-kilometer reach, this mission is actually focused on validating precision, propulsion efficiency and warhead delivery systems to further refine India's layered deterrence, viewers. This is the no-fly zone, no-fly zone in the Bay of Bengal. Of course, it offers a wide range, and the length, of course, is there 3,550 kilometers in the Bay of Bengal, and the test site will be the Abdul Kalam Islands there near Odisha, and the start date will be 15th of October, and the end will be on the 17th of October, viewers. So this, of course, reaffirms India's layered deterrence architecture. Bay of Bengal serves as the preferred test corridor now, offering the wide uninhabited stretches for safe trials and minimal disruption to civilian and air-sea routes. Shifting focus quickly, viewers, to the other stories that we're tracking for you. It's a major boost for Atmanirbharta, and we shift our focus to the Saksham Air Defense. Indian Army has unveiled Saksham, a homegrown counter-unmanned aerial system grid that's set to outsmart and obliterate enemy drones in real time, standing for situational awareness for kinetic, soft and hard kill assets management. This is not just another gadget, it's a unified command backbone that fuses radar, sensors, both soft kill jammers with hard kill interceptors into one seamless recognized UAS unmanned, that is picture. And the US picture, and Saksham leverages the secure army data network to blanket the expanded tactical battlefield space. That's up to 3,000 meters above air ground. The vital air littoral, where low-flying threats like those seen during Operation Sindoor lurked unchecked. From the LOC to LAC, this grid promised to rewrite the rules of modern warfare. And of course, this is important because this is going to be indigenously made, viewers. And the acquisition is being done as soon as possible by the Army. All right, viewers, now, it was Air Force Day celebrations this week, celebrating the 93rd Air Force Day. Air Chief Marshal A.P. Singh spoke on the importance of preparedness, innovative planning and rigorous training. He was speaking during the ceremony at the Hindon Air Base, lauding the service's rapid and compassionate response during Operation Sindhu that involved evacuating Indian citizens from conflict zones and delivering relief internationally. And more importantly about Operation Sindhu, he recalled how bold and precise airstrikes using indigenously developed weapons restored the role of offensive air power and demonstrated India's homegrown capabilities. Listen in.
During Op Sindhu, IAF sprang into action to evacuate Indian citizens from conflict-ridden zones, and furthermore, IAF responded to international crises in other countries, airlifting relief materials and personnel, for example, to Myanmar, Laos, Vietnam, and Kenya. The compassion, speed, and reliability with which Indian Air Force delivered hope, often under hazardous conditions, embodies the highest ideals of service before self. As we celebrate our triumphs and success, we must remain prepared for the future. Our planning must be innovative, practical, and adaptive. Our training must be based on the principle of train like we fight. Hence, it should continue to be honest, rigorous, and relevant to the emerging challenges. We must recognize that victory comes with effective teamwork. Our performance in Operation Sindoor fills us with professional pride. We proved to the world how air power can be effectively used in shaping military outcomes in just a few days. India's bold and precise attacks restored the rightful place of offensive air action in the national consciousness. Our robust air defense architecture and offensive employment of long-range surface-to-air missile systems limited the anniversary's freedom to operate and ensured safety of our vital assets.
And that's all we could pack in this edition of Forces First, viewers. We'll be right back with more. Thank you so much for watching, and Jai Hind.